Hey everybody, we're back. Looks like we got the first map decided. It's Overgrowth. Are you hosting or shall I?
I usually host.
Okay. See, look, you've left Solar confused and abandoned, and he just doesn't know what to do. Could someone host?
Not my fault.
Could anyone host? Hello?
He had messaged the right person.
He didn't message. He wrote it in. He wrote it in chat, homie.
Oh, you're right.
Anyways.
I just saw you guys talking about chicken and shit.
Yeah, two guys discussing cock in front of Zombie Grub. How hot and bothered are you right now?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. Well, me and Naruto just talking about food. But, yeah, this is going to be ZVP. Solar versus trusT. I know somebody in chat was just moments ago saying they wish there was more Protoss in this. And lucky for you, friendo, it's Protoss.
Don't call me friendo, buddy.
Don't call me buddy, you freaking guy. I don't know. Anyways, what was I saying? God, I'm so tired. This is a nice mixture of all the people remaining. You have one really good player of each race. You got trusT for Protoss, Solar for Zerg, and of course Bjorn for Terran waiting in those grand finals. It could be anybody at this point. You've left. Goodbye.
Because it was the wrong person.
What?
trusT is not Alicia. And vice versa. So can you swap? And...
trusT race, please. Oh wait, you're here. You just take host. I don't want this responsibility.
I'm back.
I don't want this responsibility.
Damn casters who actually play this game and use that account to cast the game too. They just assume the person with the border is fine. And trusT, what are you doing? You don't play this at all.
He's not even ranked. Has he even tried?
God.
Who's that handsome guy in Solar's photo?
I actually didn't see.
Oh.
Couldn't tell.
Solar using his own photo.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 1. I'm trying to pretend to be unhyped about this. I can't be because it's a pretty good match. So top right side of the map, it's game number 1. Spawning the blue and Protoss. It's trusT.
On the bottom left is the red Zerg. He is Solar.
Now for me, I really want to see Solar and Beyond. I want to see the rematch of rematches, so to speak. But that being said, trusT is for me the wild card in this one. Protoss has a bit of a poopy win ratio for certain, but they also have the capability to do some really dirty things that look unbeatable, and we've seen that through Hero and a couple other select players. So I feel like if trusT is going to play a straight up macro game versus Solar, I give this series to Solar. But if trusT is willing to get a little bit dirty, throw down a Stargate opening instead of a Robo, things like that, maybe we can see this get shaken up a bit.
Yeah. And you gotta die Bertha for the 3-month resub.
Whoop whoop.
I agree. I think that Solar wins the macro games. But I don't know enough about trusT to say that's an absolute certainty. I've only been seeing them lately. Recently. In a recent time. I can't think of other ways to put that, actually.
Pardon me?
Other ways to say recently?
Most happening?
What's happening? That just sounds like an old person trying to be hip.
This
is the most happening place on Earth.
It's the least to go.
The least to go. We're breaking some non-English speakers, or English second language speakers' mind.
I would love if through one of our dumb English lessons on stream, somebody actually takes that and learns from that. Meet them down the road years later and they're speaking like this to us.
I've always considered English to be when Asian languages pronounce English. That's when you say it's
really?
English.
English for me has always just been, it's not quite English, but it's trying to be.
Yeah. But people also use it when, and it does seem to be a lot of Chinese things are written badly in English too. So it's not just audio, but for me it is still Asian because it's English because it's Asian languages that mostly have
can't pronounce the L's and R's. Yeah, I got it.
But the be clear, we can't pronounce their version of LR either, so we're kind of screwed also. I don't know if any other language actually does that. Since we just Eastern Asian languages. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But we probably do confuse quite a few people. You know what though? The same way that we probably don't have the best grammar, we do teach them a lot of slang.
Well, I don't know about
Slang's
yours, but my grammar's a delight. She's turning 85 this year.
They don't say grammar.
Y'all.
Maybe anything could be like grandma.
Y'all.
Whatever, man.
Y'all's grammar's worse than my grammar's. Shook 'em up. Did you just whisper shut up to me?
Quiet, quiet.
How dare you shush me in front of thousands of people? I'm dying of embarrassment right now.
I'm sure you are.
There you go, you did it again. Stop shushing me.
Rest in peace. There's the depths on the way, and they're being followed up with a warp prism, but trusT is also looking to expand, I guess. Well, maybe. I don't know, he is.
So he's spawning roaches. He's got lings out. He's cut drone production for the time being, which might be a good or a bad thing. I mean, if you logically, if you keep making drones, you replace the ones you're losing, but at the same time, army will keep you from losing them. So either way, it looks like they shouldn't be too bad to deal with. He's got plenty of units out to fight with.
Right. So trusT, I was wondering if he was going to go to third because he stopped at such a low probe count. But then he started making probes again.
Chrono Boost is cool like that, huh?
Yes. He didn't take his gases natural, so he didn't really need that many probes, but he'll need them now. He has to transfer out, so he needs to build immortals, needs to build more gateways, get his tech. Even more so than just resonating glaives. The warp prism means that the adept attacks last longer than they would have if it was just the adept on the ground. But they shouldn't do too much damage. Solar tries a counter though, and he's just completely out of position now.
Yeah, these drones were getting shuffled around nicely earlier. This time they're a little bit late to get pulled. However, this still might be worth it. Like, you lose a base and a half's worth of drones. Okay, that kind of sucks, but you kill your opponent in the process. Overcharge gets popped. He's just going to wait it out and go to the third and get a cancel over here while he waits. Then when overcharge is done, go right back in. But with immortals coming out, the roaches are less of a threat. The Ravagers may be able to get a hit here and there, but this base is absolutely going to get killed.
I think Solar actually is dead. He's not quite dead, but I think he's on the losing side here.
Yeah, he can't
didn't have any drones to begin with.
It's not even about the adepts either. He's trying to deal with that warp prism as the priority. Queen going to get transfused barely at the last moment there. While this goes on, the force fields keep that alive. Looks like the Ravager's on the wrong side of said force field too, so even if he breaks it, he can't get inside the base. Oh boy. Blaven.
Why even? Another Immortal's gonna pop out eventually, but the Lings are now in big trouble.
I mean, he's losing out on a lot back at home, certainly. Down to 16 drones, not comfortable. But he's on the verge of just straight up killing trusT. If trusT can find a way to barely hold on, and even if it is just barely, then he'll be the one who comes out much better for it. But right now, Solar's still got a lot of units bulked up outside the maze.
Yeah.
A little bit of a misrally, but he gets them caught up now.
The Solar's Ling's now flooding in. I guess it's trusT who's gonna lose.
Yeah.
He didn't actually lose his third base. trusT could have recovered.
I mean, Solar's down to 12 workers. That kind of sucks. But
his army supply's double.
yeah, he's going to surround this Immortal. And the Adepts are a welcome addition to the army for certain, but not going to be enough to hold on to this game. Roach is, of course, just getting into that main too. Zealot's an interesting choice. Probe's getting pulled. Again, this one talking about, it's desperate. He might just barely hold this, though. However, will be at the cost of too many workers.
What would this game be like if he did hold the exact same number of workers as Solar?
I truthfully think trusT ends up ahead if that's the case.
Hard.
He did lose the Cyber Core, and that's part of why Zealots were coming in. By the way, this wasn't like a tactically amazing choice. It's actually all he can make right now. But as he backs away, he's going to go finish off that third, I guess? Yeah, by the looks of it.
All right, so, well, that's a big deal. Like, if it's 3 Nexus and they're both at equal workers, then I think trusT might just be ahead. But without a third Nexus and lower army supply, trusT might be worse off, but now Solar's losing more drones. I don't even know what, like a depth ran past, I guess? I don't know.
The War Prism for Micro is kind of a cool idea at this point. I like that, but he's probably not looking at the War Prism of the army anymore. He's looking for the probes. So he really wants to get in there and kill. The Immortal's going to pop out, one-shot these He's going to tap out. Too much damage at home.
Wow.
GG. trusT takes game number
Wow.
1.
That was a very tight game.
Yeah. PewDiePie should check this channel for more sources of try not to cringe videos.
Shut up.
I would love if PewDiePie checked this out, guys. Even if he hated my guts. I love PewDiePie. But map 2 is going to be Daybreak. We're going to take a quick break. We'll take a quick commercial daybreak, and we'll see you guys soon. All right, folks, we're back. Thanks for watching that break. Game number 2 kicking off right now, and up 1 game here in the losers bracket. Top right side of the map. Going to be the red Protoss player. None other than trusT. Who, I'm trying to remember, what was his whole team? Was it KT? Or was he?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
KT. The bottom left, as the Blue Zerg, he is Solar.
Now, there's some pretty heavy discussion in chat about whether Solar should or should not have tapped out there and all that. I actually feel like his tap out was appropriate, but it looked abrupt because he was very close. Like, he was very close to making that work for him.
Yeah.
But as stated multiple times, like, the just barely aspect of there was certainly a huge influence. And as we saw, trusT was just barely holding on. I think it was close, and I think if either player had done 1 or 2 things differently, that could have been a completely different outcome. But I definitely think Solar was not foolish to tap out.
Yeah, I don't think it was an id or GG. I mean, if you can't make another Roach and your army's dying, then, like, okay, that's it, right? The Immortal had popped out, and there was just enough else to take care of the Lings, too. It was close, but it made sense to tap out. I really thought the Lings flooding in would have done it in the natural.
Well, it wasn't quite the Stargate and what I was hoping to see, but I did like that trusT got aggressive, using the Adepts, Resonating Glaives, and, of course, the Warp Prism to get damage done to Solar.
That Warp Prism really
MVP.
saved his butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first it's kind of started what ended up being a bit of a base trade. Solar was going to be very aggressive and almost all in anyway, because they didn't really limit an all in. And then it came back to help the tiniest bit with the micro. So, worth for sure. It happens in this game, though. I mean, Solar took a chance doing what he did anyway, so it's like he could also just say, like, okay, not again, just play macro and, you know, defend any aggression, Warp Prism or Stargate or whatever it is.
I would really love to see Solar, though. I mean, I want him to win this. I really want. I'm being greedy, guys. I'm being greedy. I want Beyond Solar rematch, but if trusT wins through this 2-0, it'd be very interesting to see how he plays versus Beyond.
Well, trusT is getting a Twilight Council again. An Adept here. It's possible he does the exact same build. It technically worked out, but I don't think that's a game that you're just like, yeah, that build is awesome. That was amazing. That's definitely going to be a win this time, because that game was just so complicated and convoluted. And he might just like it as his PvZ. I think it's a Robo, too. So yeah, I guess this could be a variety of things. Could be just a regular third base, too. Dep's going to get some scouting, though. Besides, not the Shade Inlings were already on its butt. Oh, yeah. Dark Shrine. Oh, yeah. So.
I'm like Dank Shrine. Am I right?
Standard it is. Although I do say that since we've watched all these other Protosses be cheesy, this is... Before, I feel the past 3 days, it was like every single PvZ, but then we saw some weird games and some Adept all-ins, and now we're back to what was standard.
There, now I made it a Dank Shrine.
I don't know what you did, but I'm sure it's hilarious.
Totally worth. Okay, let's get rid of that. Yeah, the Dark Shrine's a little bit more standard, though, especially if you want to get excited and hyped about DTs. Like, we've seen Zest and many others do different variations of this, but ultimately, whether you're using the DTs or you're just going straight to Archons, this can be a very powerful opener that can do a bit of damage to Zerg, to say the least.
It's very easily scouted, but sometimes that isn't enough. Solar once again caught out of position with his army, so the Adept's getting a couple of drone kills. Not that... I mean, Solar didn't really have an army to begin with. Ooh, even more going to go down. You can probably get like 5, 6 even. Those Lings are not getting us around. But he pulls the drone.
Yeah, he really wanted those drone kills. He could have probably killed those 3 or 4 Lings on his way out at least, but Warp Prism comes in. DTs are going to be had, and unfortunately for Solar, well, he does have Spore Crawlers down in these bases. And yeah, hey, detection covered. What's up? DTs still do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely don't move out of the way, Solar. He could technically fight and micro, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
The damage these things do is pretty crazy. Of course, if the DTs are hurt, it doesn't affect the Archons, so just make those pretty much full health afterwards. Give that Warp Prism some time to regenerate as well. Thank you to Crack Manetti. New sub hype.
Yeah.
Glad to have you on board. Someone earlier was asking how many subs is BaseTradeTV at now. And I forgot to actually look that up, so I can tell you now. 1,166.
Nice.
Had that really crazy sub day a few days ago. But oh boy, biological units of all kinds take that extra damage, and the Archons, as we can see, but a splash annihilate the roaches. But this isn't meant to be like close quarters combat. trusT should really be doing things like dragging and dropping and using the Archons in very dangerous ways. Not for him, but for Solar.
Solar has never had to move his Overlord's scouting, by the way, so he knows exactly what's following it up, and it is definitely all in. Charge is being added in. The gateways are already done. So he has to wait for a couple more warp-ins, because I don't think he wants to push in without charge. But maybe he can. If the force fields are good, that'll kind of act as a type of charge. They'll let the Zealots connect. Very scary all in. Oh, and Immortal even comes in here. Ooh. That's really going to help against the roaches.
Yeah, but it's not just roaches. There are Ravagers behind this. That's where Corsair Battles are scary. As we see, the sentries were targeted immediately, and those will die in one shot. He does catch a lot of the roaches. Zealots blades to the wall, and the Immortal shooting from behind. Archon still dealing a ton of damage in that mineral line. Solar is not doing so hot in this fight. He's got more army supply, but keep in mind, this is a lot of roaches. One of the Archons dies, so that was a bit of a mistake.
The Zealots are so powerful now that they have charge as well, and the Immortal still isn't being touched. As one more force field throws it down, might have a second one soon, and I think Solar just kind of died here. More Zealot warp-ins.
Wow.
Huh.
Of course, charge comes off cooldown, so they get that extra hit in once again. The third base is going to die. He's not consolidating in his natural either. He was just funneling in the roaches one or two at a time.
Yeah,
the Immortal is actually left a little bit exposed. This is a bit awkward, but the rest of the army now catching up with it. So many charge lots. G. trusT, ladies and gentlemen, will take this series 2-0 and knock Solar out of the qualifiers.
Oh, good luck to him versus Beyond, though.
Yeah, it doesn't... He still has to win this match, which is the qualifying match, and it's going to be a tough one. TVP, Beyond versus trusT in a best of 3. It would be expected for Beyond to win, but it would be really cool to have trusT sort of upset the thing of balance, but... yeah. I guess we'll head off to another commercial break. Make literally a couple of cents. It's so bad. It's so bad. I showed this yesterday. I'll show you guys again just how bad this is. Where's the dashboard? Like, context here. In December, on a really good day, like right now we got about 3,500 viewers. If we had this in December, Zombie Up and I could easily make 50 to 70 bucks in ad revenue. That's nice money. That's like us actually maybe making a living, right? That's not the case here. Look at this shit, guys. This is the last week of us casting StarCraft. $4 yesterday, $18 the day before, and we split. Keep in mind, we split this in half too. Like, this is, oh, it's so disappointing. The Dust Bowl reference wasn't a joke. Whoever made me go look at our sub count made me look at our ad revenue, and I hate you. So, anyways, please, guys, don't kill us. Save esports. Watch these commercials. We'll see you in 2 minutes.